Yo yo yo, new day, new deal. So we are now officially done with Bungo Stray Dogs, and by done I mean all the main lined canon material. There are a ton of fucking like side stories and light novels and shit, which I will leave my sister to that, to reading that and recommending me the best. Um, I don't actually think she's done yet, because she's reading like all the side content too. But I'm done with the main story, at least I think. There might be more because I just realized now, after like watching a couple people yap about it, that it's actually pretty recent. This whole anime. I mean, it's old, but it's getting new seasons recently, as in the last like year. So there might be a season 6 coming. I don't know. It was a pretty good like wrap up point, and I don't see how you know it's gonna actually develop any further. Really. Might just. I mean, I still need some more about like why the fucking were tiger is as valuable as it is, because I didn't feel like I got that. Like why everybody wanted to, why there was such a fucking massive bounty on the main character's head. Not really because of him, but just because of his powers. I don't know. I don't know. But the last season was straight fire. It is going at a breakneck pace. But I mean, I like it. It's a bit hard to follow at times. But it's very action-packed too, so I like that part of it. Because we actually get through a ton of the fights. It's just, the themes and shit, we don't really get to dwell on it too much. Which, I mean, is fine, but it's just basically nitpicking. It's a bit rushed. Actually, very rushed. But hey, it's fucking fire. So I think the last time I left off was talking about how the leader of the hunting dogs was revealed to be also the leader of the Decay of Angels, which was fucking. I mean, I should have seen it coming, but I didn't, and that is fucking awesome. Because he also just has the fucking demeanor of a bad guy, but everything he does seems like he's a good guy, which just tells you that yeah, there's something behind this, and there's like he's been confronted several times about like why do you do this, and we never really got an answer, but I suspected there would be an answer, considering the story actually poked holes in his whole thing. But yeah, that was basically the reveal, and our main character and his buddy, his rival man, was alone with him, and they kind of they fucked up. They almost both died. One of them did die. Not our main character, because he has main character plot armor, but his rival is, I think, straight up fucking dead. Might not be. I can't remember. There are some goofy like vampire powers that got into play, so he might be like revived through that, but I'm not actually sure. So basically, his plan, not Fukusawa, fuck. I can't remember his name, so I'm just gonna call him a hunting dog leader. So, leader man is, he has a fucking grand plan about, just pretty much taking over the world, as as simple as it gets. At least that's what we think at first. And his plan to do that is, get all of the military power in the world. Because he wants to fucking just, pretty much just end war as it is, which, I mean, it's a theme that's also done in Naruto, but I think way better in Naruto, but I mean, I appreciate it still, because it's, you know, kind of a different angle here. With, like, if one person has all the power in the world, no one will go to war ever again. Because everyone is united under one, you know, fucking, under one, holy shit, my controller is not doing well today. It's just, like, releasing way earlier than it's supposed to. I don't know, I'm using the controller that I quote-unquote fixed up, but, I mean, it's apparently not really fixed anyway, so, yeah, that's awesome. Oh, Thunder! Shut up. So, pretty much, he has... I mean, yeah, I fucking like his ability. This leader guy. He has, pretty much the ability to just make everything... any weapon he wields 100 times stronger. Which is such a basic ability, but it's so fucking overpowered. But it's not like overpowered enough to be like, wow, this guy is really intimidating, right? You know, you could see our main guys winning in a 1v1 against him, or like a 2v1. Basically the situation they were in. And that's also what they did. They basically won, but then he just pulled out a sword that fucking controls space and time, which in the entire fight he only used the space part of it, where he just like basically the same as that guy Nikolai's ability, where he just creates not really a pocket dimension but a pocket portal somewhere. And it's not really that strong in and of itself, but because he specifically wields the weapon, and now it can, you know, it can control space like 100 times further than it could by a normal wielder. It's a fucking powerful ass weapon. And basically, he just fucking stabs you through the portal without you noticing, and that's really fucking awesome. And well, yeah, they basically defeat him, but then at the very end of the fight, when you just forget, when you're on that high that yeah, we fucking won, who's the next big bad? Because this guy clearly wasn't it. He pulls out the fucking metagaming knowledge that, oh, you don't actually remember my powers, do you? I control not only space but also time with this sword. And again, not really that powerful until he specifically wields it. Which I really like that he just, like, it makes sense that he got into the position where he is. Because he has this, like, overpowered ass fucking, like, combination of weapon and ability. But yeah, he pulls out that and essentially just reverses time. Or like, okay, so what the fuck? He basically feels like a JoJo villain, where they all just control some version of time. I don't really know how to explain it. It's basically Funny Valentine's ability, but like, if he could send messages back in time to himself, pretty much. Okay, it's a bad analogy, but basically he can just go back in time, and if he, you know, past him doesn't really know what the fuck is going on, but he knows that his time ability is being used, so he knows he fucked up, and that's basically the power of his, you know, he's basically invincible at this point. Which, I mean, I like that in a villain, where you get to the point that you know, how the fuck do we beat this guy? It's fucking impossible, which, again, is also why I like JoJo villains. Yeah, so they essentially, they fucking lose badly, and the only way they actually get out is because one of them sacrifices themselves in order for the other one to get out. And this is where I don't really like it, because it doesn't make sense with his ability that he wouldn't just kill them both while, you know, one of them escapes. Then he just reverses time to where he's not escaping, and then he, you know, kills them both. Because he can fucking do that. I don't know, I just expected his death, or his downfall basically, to be that he, you know... Again, this is probably why I'm thinking of Funny Valentine, because he essentially gets cornered in every single, you know, version of events that happen. Like, sure, he can see the future and he can reverse his future as much as he wants, but in no instance is he winning. And I guess it's only because I saw it in JoJo's first that I'm like, yeah, this is the only way that makes sense, that this is how he should be beaten. But it makes sense the way he was beaten is that, you know, now we're skipping a bit further, but in his final fight against Fukusawa, a bit where basically his downfall is that he just drops his sword. You know, there's more to it, but essentially he's not wielding the sword anymore to, like, reverse time and shit. So now his injuries and, you know, everything is permanent unless he can very quickly get the blade back. He also does this against a... Holy fuck, can you stand still? You know, go the same fucking... I'm not dying to base 0. I don't have enough health. What the fuck? I am... shit. So basically one of the hunting dogs, who was also a member of the Port Mafia... What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, can we agree that that was bullshit? I used up all my fucking health. I used up all my soul. But it didn't give me a fucking heal. What? Why? No, I'm not done here. I'm gonna get revenge for that. That's bullshit. Wow. That hurt me deep. Shit. Where was I? Anyway, oh yeah, Port Mafia guy. So you remember the guy I was talking about before, that he is a member of the hunting dogs, but he was also a member of the Port Mafia, and he couldn't really decide which one he liked more. But he just liked to be, like, part of something, right? And that's all we pretty much got. We didn't really get a full insight into him. And he, apparently, that's something I forgot, but at the Sky Casino, he was the guy that found out. And, like, finally, he was the first one to see through that, oh yeah, the fucking, the detective agency is innocent. What the fuck are we doing? And basically, he pretty much immediately suspected, the guy, his boss, the boss man, and gave him a fake... Basically, he saw like a videotape on a USB stick, and he gave that USB stick to boss man, which is like... now they're just playing fucking mind games at this point, like, oh yeah, we're gonna give this to the police, but why would you not give it to the police if you were like... That sounds a bit sus if you're not willing to give it to the police, if you're not even willing to, like, see it through, like, you're just... Seems like you have a stake in this, which he does. But in reality, the USB stick he got was not really a USB stick as much as it was like a tracker and a voice recorder and shit. Which he thought it was the original. I mean, it's pretty stupid that it's not. That he didn't really check. But I still like, I like where it went. If I just take a quick look away from that little, thing. So basically the fucking whole vampire thing. So basically his way of getting every single power in the world to his side is by leveraging the safety of humanity by, get this, reviving Dracula. Basically his biggest enemy that he now has control over because of his, you know, sword. That he stabbed into him. It's apparently a special sword that takes over. I don't know, it kind of felt like just a plot device that could have been done better, but I mean... He at least got a personality, the fucking vampire dude, instead of just being a sword. Basically, the dude is just an old-ass vampire that is stuck to a sword. He's literally stuck to it, and he can't use his abilities anymore. But the weapon can use the ability, pretty much. And the only one who can wield the weapon is Boss Man. So it's, you know, you can see how it's all lined up pretty conveniently for the Boss Man to be like, you know, have the power to destroy the world. But essentially, he just makes every person in the fucking world into vampires, again, because he can, you know, the Vampire Man is now a weapon, technically, because he has a sword stuck in him. And because Boss Man's ability is to, you know, improve every weapon like 100-fold, that becomes incredibly powerful. And he basically just takes over the entire world with that. And, you know, at first you're confused on like why would you just stop there if your, you know, whole thing is world domination. And that also just adds fuel to the, yeah, this there's something going on. This is not just a world domination thing. It's just like a front he's putting on, which I appreciate that, you know, take on it. But yeah, essentially they just, what the fuck, what was my point here? I don't know. Basically, this the Port Mafia hunting dog guy, orange-haired guy, he, you know, he suspects the Boss Man of being, you know, being sus and having something to do with this whole thing, this whole vampire thing. Also just because he's been acting sus, I guess, since the Sky Casino. Like, they're kind of confused on why they are there and why they're hunting basically innocent guys. So yeah, that's, you know, not the hunting dogs, but this one hunting dog is. And that, like, essentially it all crumbles down upon him from there. Where he, Boss Man goes to the fucking, the dude, the vampire dude. I don't know why he didn't just destroy the USB stick immediately when he got it and when he got like out of the way and stuff. But of course he has his, he had his little evil monologue and, like, you know, proof that he was working with the vampire dude, like in just some like old abandoned warehouse. And it's pretty obvious when orange-haired kid shows up that, yeah, this is gonna be a fucking badass fight scene. And honestly, he does way better than I thought he would against the Boss Man. You know how I said that even a 2v1 was like, you know, it was pretty fucking rough for, what the fuck? That's fucked up. For our two main guys, our two buddies, they kind of struggled pretty hard against Boss Man. This guy, this one hunting dog alone, did really fucking well, and he, again, also cornered the Boss Man with his, like, metal ability, which, I mean, I expected because he has, basically a really good counter to his, you know, time-space sword, which is that he can fucking control metal. He has such an easy time just fucking taking the sword from him, pretty much. And also, I like that he does this because that's the first thing I thought of doing, like, weapon-wise with his ability, is just split up a bunch of metal and just you know, smash it into your opponent. And that's exactly what he does against Bossman. And I don't know how the fuck Bossman still lived after that. But I guess plot convenience. And like, yeah, I'm smarter than you, but not really, actually. But he like, I like the fact that there's some thought behind everything he does. Because at some point in the fight, he's like cornered somehow. And there was like a goofy like symbol on the wall. And then oh, that was fucking awesome. Good timing, good timing. There's at some point there's a symbol on the wall, which we get a explanation later that was actually just like a, you know, sign of danger sent to him from the future. Which, I mean, basically just showing that, yeah, he's cornered. This is fucked up, and we are, you know, future him, aka past him, aka future him. The him that is not cornered. Placed that there and then stabbed the guy, and then he got his sword back. Which, I mean, he can do that from the future because he can also do it from the past, and he can, I mean, the fucking space-time ability is crazy when it's in his hands. Is basically what I'm trying to say, and it just feels like the guy is pretty fucking invincible. Until his final fight with our main guy, our boy Fukusawa, aka our boss man, which they have a bunch of history together and shit. And you know, pretty much the only difference is that evil boss man went to war, our good guy boss man didn't, and that's it. That's pretty much like the difference between them. I mean, I know there's more, but that's like dumbed down version. Shit. God damn it. Yeah, so it's basically the entirety of the last, you know, 6 episodes or so that revolves around like an airport being like fucking the place that is, you know, where everything goes down pretty much, because the world's most dangerous fucking weapon is being transferred there to evil boss man, because again he has leverage in terms of the whole world is just going at war with each other, and that needs to fucking stop. So they give him a super weapon, which is, I mean, it's so fucking stupid that they do that, but I guess it works out because of, you know, deep down he's actually a pretty good guy, and he just, you know, wants the best for the world. But that is, you know, every final fight takes place at the airport, and his boss man, it's basically boss man versus boss man. Our main character guy, he is, what the fuck is he even doing? He's up against like, who the fuck was he up against? He was up against somebody, and then he basically fucking failed badly, and then was rescued by the enemy because they were like, they're getting very conflicted. The hunting dogs are getting very conflicted in their freaking you know, allegiances with evil boss man, because they slowly realize that, oh, this guy is responsible for every bad thing happening in the world right now. And I don't care what his motives are. He's fucking, from our perspective, he's just evil for the sake of being evil. Which was his goal, to convey that, so I guess it worked, sure. But yeah, they're very fucking conflicted. Also, they begin to suspect him more and more because there's a blind guy among the hunting dogs, like a blind sadistic guy, who, again, I like that I didn't notice this and I got told it afterwards that he, again, going back to the, the whole USB stick thing, like mind games and shit. He was there, like all the hunting dogs were there. It was just like a general meeting. He is really good at hearing like fucking heart rates and shit, and he realized that both of these guys, both Boss Man and Orange Kid Man, they were fucking lying, and he was confused why Boss Man was lying, and like, he was shivering his timbers, shitting his pants, as they say. Which is valid, like, why the fuck would he do that? It's just like, there's something sus going on. And so, that basically all trickles down to our main character guy losing a fight but then getting revived, pretty much. In just like a little hospital bed. In the airport. And then essentially only coming after the, coming onto the battlefield at the very fucking end. So yeah, basically a bunch of fights happen. Wow, surprise, surprise, right? But it's a bunch of cool fights against, I really like the one against the two people who basically didn't fucking know each other and didn't know who was who and like why they were even fighting. But yeah, I enjoyed that fight, which is, I mean, it's also, it even adds more because as the viewer, you're not really sure who these people are that much. Like, even the guy on our side, you haven't spent that much time with him. You just know he's fucking crazy strong. And then in this fight he gets even stronger. Wow, that's his whole shtick. And you get a bit of a backstory on him. And I like how his enemies, still to this point, he is a fucking mystery. We only know his name, which, I mean, I suck with names, as you might have, seen here. Holy shit, I'm at Mantis Lords? I've just been playing on fucking autopilot this entire time. I'm gonna continue doing so, because then I have an excuse to die before our guest comes. We're gonna, it's Friday night, we're gonna be drinking, because we are awesome. Just gonna go down to a white girl park and just bottom a fucking Sambuca. This is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be goated, as the kids say. I already have full HP, shit. Yeah, but this vampire man is basically being picked up by a little girl. You know the little girl that they... what the fuck is his name? Again, proves I am not good with names. The fucking... Dasai's, right-hand guy, partner thingy. He accidentally got a girl to blow herself up, and that's like the start of them being framed for being terrorists. But he saved a girl before that, like right before that, and she apparently was just, like by circumstances, there, at the airport. And she basically, like, she got confronted by the hunting dogs, but let off the leash. But then she, she heard that, oh, the detective agency is fucking, they're terrorists. There's no fucking way they're terrorists. I gotta, investigate this. Which is very impressive thinking from a 10-year-old, but that's not even the most impressive thing she does as a 10-year-old. She basically saves the world, which is goated, but shit, man. We'll get to that if I survive this. So basically, she just takes a fucking she catches Boss Man and Vampire Man like yapping to each other about their evil, scummy plans. Basically, right? Not that she knows what's going on, but now she took a photo of that and then just published it. I guess, or she has the ability to publish it and you know, have some sort of leverage over Boss Man. Which is basically just to clear the name of the, not the Port Mafia, the agency, the detective agency. Can you die soon? I don't want to die to 1. Thank you. Shit. Alright. Good game, good game. Yeah, so she basically has a whole, like, fucking, not fight scene, but just chase scene with the Boss Man and the Vampire Man, who is a sword. Vampire Sword Man. So she basically just kidnaps the fucking Vampire Sword Man and takes him, like, you know, because essentially the Vampire Sword Man doesn't want to fucking be there. He's basically working for his nemesis right now, and he has no control over his own powers, so that fucking sucks, right? But he's basically the key to, you know, getting... What the fuck was that speed? Wow, damn. I thought he would, like, slow down a bit, but no. Damn. Yada yada, girl saves the world by releasing the sword, and, you know, just in time for the vampires to, you know, not fuck up, and then Big Boss Man dies and reveals that, oh, he actually wanted this super weapon to be in the hands of Fukusawa, our good guy Boss Man, and that's why, you know, the world will never be at war, because, you know, sure, one person has control over everything, but it's a good person who has control over every superpower, and, you know, everything. It's again, it's been really rushed through, so it hasn't been, you know, sitting with me for that long, but hey, I like the story, and it's pretty awesome, and that's where we're gonna leave off. I have been yapping so much, holy shit. Well, I'm gonna hop off. Time to go drinking. Let's go.